What's up guys, this is Wences. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal development for INFJs and creating an epic life on your terms. Today we're talking about the INFJ Chameleon effect, and I want to talk to you about the dangers it brings with itself, because we all know what the chameleon effect is all about. INFJs are supposed to be the best chameleons. No matter what kind of situation we are put in, we can adapt. And this can be an amazing trait that we can use to our advantage and experience a lot of new things. But if we're not careful, this particular trait can lead us to never figuring out who we are and to grow in the way that makes us happy. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you want to take the next step in creating your epic life and you say now is the time and I'm taking it on and you want my help in it, then work with me privately or join the Epic Life Masterclass. You find all the information below. So let's first talk about what the INFJ Chameleon effect really is. It is said that INFJs, no matter what kind of position they're put in, they can adapt. And one of the main reasons for this is our NI. And it also has a lot to do with our strong FE, so our extroverted feeling. We can understand the emotional atmosphere and we can adapt to it. It happens on such a subconscious level so often that we often don't even recognize how good we are at it. I remember when I was 16, I was in the States and I was there for high school year. And you have to imagine English is my third language. And so I came there, and in the beginning, my English wasn't good at all. In general, like most people didn't understand me, although I had already learned English for a couple of years. But it took me 1 month to really get to a point where even the people there couldn't tell that I'm not from the States. Don't compare it to how I talk now. This has been a long time ago. But back then, I really immersed myself into this situation. And comparing myself to a lot of my friends who've gone and done the same thing, it has always been a big difference. And I see it with other INFJs as well. I can see that no matter what kind of social group I'm put in, I can adapt myself to it. And I was able to have companions, friends, acquaintances in different areas of life when most of the time these groups couldn't really function with each other. And I saw it as a huge advantage when it came to my plans of creating something in life. But here comes the twist. I recognize that all of this is an image. See, in the end, none of these groups or none of these people really knew who I was. And I don't believe that there's this one aspect, like how you are with that one friend, and then there's this other aspect you were with that other friend, and then there's the true you. Like, I know this is how it feels, but in the end, our true self is also a representation of something. It's also about choosing to be one particular way. Yes, this one particular way can be very complex, but it isn't something that is only within you. Most of the time, we don't even know how that looks like. In order to understand ourselves better, we have to try out different things and understand, yes, this is more in tune with what makes me feel good, and this isn't. Our goal is to get to a point where, yes, I can still hang out with one crowd that's completely different than another one, and I can still be with this one friend and enjoy my time completely and then be with somebody else and enjoy that time completely, but I don't want to hide parts of myself anymore. See, when I started my journey, this was the first thing I changed. I recognized that being a chameleon has been over idealized by myself. It was something that I felt was a great trait, and I saw myself as using this to my advantage, and I thought it's so much fun. But the more I did it, the more I realized that none of the people actually knew me. Because when I was this one version of myself with this friend over here, I was hiding that part when I was with somebody else. So it's not just about adapting, it's also that I didn't want my other friend to know that this is the way I was with this one. I never wanted my friends to meet. I was embarrassed if one part of my life got to know that other part of my life. And so more and more shame came up, and I felt more and more disconnected to who I really was. I became the sidekick to all of those projects, and in none of them I was playing the lead role. And the more you keep doing this, the more you keep idealizing it, romanticizing it, the more you see, oh, I can use this to my advantage. You don't ever get to connect with people on an authentic level, because that authentic level is for you to be okay that that friend over here knows that you have this friendship over here. Like, it's all good. You don't have to share everything with everyone. I honestly don't believe that. I don't believe that in order to be fulfilled, you have to be one person with absolutely everybody and people have to know absolutely everything about you. But it was still something that kept me disconnected because I wasn't honest with any of them, and it was all because of fear of rejection. And I first had to figure out what are the aspects of me that I really want to live in, because I couldn't say when I'm with that friend I'm fake, or when I'm with that friend I'm fake. I wasn't. I honestly was interested in what they had to say, and I honestly was interested in what they had to say. And when I was around the different people, I also tapped into different aspects of my life. And what I can tell you now, after going through this journey for so many years, that this doesn't necessarily have to change. What changes though is that you're not embarrassed anymore for other people to know these aspects of yours, because then you connect with people on a much more authentic level. I remember there was this time when I really needed to get a lot of my emotions out. I had a lot of anger within me, and I expressed that through music that I was listening to. That was like a long time ago, but it was a time when I posted on Facebook all the music that I was listening to, and there were some kind of songs that were a little controversial. And I remember this one friend of mine, which I care about so deeply, she called me out on it, and she said, "What are you listening to? This is not the right message. Why are you doing this?" And at this moment, I felt the shame. I know how that feels. And this was just such a small example, but it was something that happened over and over again. It was about me hiding my strength. It was about me hiding my weaknesses. It was about me hiding aspects where I cared about certain things because I knew so well that the people around me didn't like that. Because that's exactly what being a chameleon means. You adapt to that kind of atmosphere, and it can be an atmosphere of a group, it can be an atmosphere of a person. You know so well what they don't like and what they like that you're willing to deny this part in you because you already know it's going to be rejected. But when you decide, I from now on want to be the leading character of my movie, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my life. I don't want to feel like I'm numbed out and life is happening outside of me and I'm just an observer. I want to experience life. And I want to tell every one of you who ever doubted that life can be like this, it definitely can, because I have experienced both. I know how it is to feel that life is not happening within you, it's happening outside of you, and you just see everything and you feel like, what could I do? None of it makes me happy. And I know now how different life can be if you are in the driver's seat, if you decide who you want to be and how you want to be. And part of that is to look at this INFJ chameleon effect as something that can bring danger with it as well. Because the moment I was in that situation where I posted those songs and my friend saw that and called me out on that, I honestly was at a point where I said, this is the time. Now I'm going to do it. And I told her, well, I appreciate those songs because they give me energy. I'm not really looking at the lyrics so specifically. This just makes me feel good because it's the kind of energy I need right now. And I was standing there knowing and thinking that she's gonna reject me for that she's gonna respect me less for that she's gonna judge me for it. And I was willing to take that risk. And at first she did. She actually pulled away a little bit, but it was just for a moment. It was just to a point where she recognized, okay, that's who Wences is. This is part of her. Can I accept this or not? And you will see how so many of the people around you will make that shift because they do care about you. But so far, they never had the chance to do that. You'll also experience people who will not be okay with certain parts of yourself. And you have to be okay at that moment to let them go. Because why be loved and liked and respected for things that you're not? It doesn't give you fulfillment. It doesn't feel like you're connecting. It doesn't feel like it's authentic. The more we're willing to stay in that truth and to be okay for people to know about certain aspects of ours, the more we give the relationship the chance of being as real as it can be. And then the relationships that you create, the situations you put yourself in, the choices you make, they all align with the person you want to be and that road that you're going ahead. It's like all of those personas of you that you play in all kind of different situations, they all merge. You let go of the ones that don't fulfill you anymore you stick to those that you honestly like and you're willing for the people to see them. Starting this channel, for example, was also a big step for me because I knew so many people would look at me differently because it was a little bit more on the spiritual side, because it was a little bit more out of the ordinary, because it wasn't something that any of my friends did or any of the people that I was attracted to understood in any kind of way at that time. So I was willing to get that rejection from all of those sides by people knowing that this is what I do. And remember, this doesn't mean that I need everybody of my friends to connect with me through the things I talk to you about here. But all my friends know that I do this. I don't need my friend to listen to me to the songs that I liked at that moment, but I wanted her to know. I also want my friends to know that I'm friends with other people that they might find too abrasive or too rude or whatever it is, because I like that friend. And I know that the other friend might not like them, but I want them to know that I do accept that and I see the benefits of that friendship and I don't judge that. I want the people around me to know that. It's a huge difference between saying I'm going to force other people to share this aspect of my life with me than it is to say, I want you to know that this is part of me and I'm not letting it go. I'm not hiding it. And if worlds around me collide, then I'm okay with it. It turned out that my best friends from school and my best friend from college, we're all one now. We're one big group. And it only happened because at some point I was willing to combine them, because I was so afraid for so long that the ones from school would see that aspect of me that I was always playing when I was with my college friend, which was I was only focused on her, and vice versa. The moment I said, well, this is who I am and this is what I want, and I combined all of that, I was willing to take all of those negative emotions that came up because the price is so worth it. You get to overcome this anxiety. You get to become whole. You get to feel like an authentic person at any time. And it's not something that you overcome in a night. It's not something that ever goes away completely. I still have situations where things like this happen and I feel shamed. I feel like something is going on and I don't feel comfortable with that. And I stay within that. I tell myself, although people judge me at this moment, I'm okay with it. Because in the end, you're not really feeling this way because other people are judging you. You feel this uncomfortable feeling because you are judging yourself. And in order to heal that feeling and in order to be completely free of that, we have to honestly feel that and to stay within that. Don't let the fact that you're good at being a chameleon keep you from being one person most of the time, a person that is authentic to your values and in which you're okay with people seeing aspects of yours. Because the more you allow yourself to be in a situation where you can't get judged for it, you get to overcome it and be confident in yourself for who you are and not for what other people want to see in you. What other people project on you is none of your business. And in order to overcome all of those feelings that keep us from growing and experiencing life to the fullest, we have to take them head on. But you can decide in what kind of quantity you do that, how fast you do it, with whom you do it. It's all a matter of preference. And the only person who can define those preferences is you. I really hope that inspired you and motivated you to use all the positive aspects of being a chameleon and at the same time building that part of you that is never up for debate. Remember, if you want to take the next step in creating your epic life, you want to change your life now and you say now is the time and you want my help in it, then work with me privately or join the Epic Life Masterclass. You find all the information below. And if you want to watch another video now that is in line with today's topic, then watch my video why INFJs feel guilty all the time. Because in the end, it's all about getting over those kind of feelings altogether. Like always, guys, I wish you a wonderful day, a great week, and I talk to you next time. Bye.